Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today for you all I'm going to be reviewing Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page. And so this was one of my favorite books of 2015 because I liked how it was a retelling of The Wizard of Oz, because I had never seen anybody or heard of anybody writing a retelling before this book. And so this was just, it was just great. I loved it, and I'm going to be splitting this video up into a spoiler-free review, which is what I'm going to do first, and then later on in the video I'm going to talk about spoilers, and you guys can, who haven't read the book, can leave once we get to that section. So let's just jump right into it. So this book is about a girl named Amy Gum, and she's like 16 or 17, I think, and she lives in Flat Hills, Kansas, and her life is just pretty normal and things like that. But she has this nickname Salvation Amy because like she lives in a trailer park, and she doesn't have the nicest things or clothes, and her hair isn't dyed with the best hair dye ever. And so there's this girl named Madison Pendleton who's always bullying her, and that just causes drama in the beginning of the book that leads on to the events. And but basically, let me get back to the main plot now. So it's about Amy, and that's basically a little bit of her background story there, what I just told you. And one day she gets sent home early because she punched Madison so-calledly, and it was during a tornado watch. And so she gets in her house, and then she realizes, she hears shaking, and it gets loud, and she gets swooped up in a tornado, and she's taken to Oz, where she is then rescued by this mysterious boy who later disappears. And so she's just forced to follow the yellow brick road and see where it takes her. And in this story, it's not like the Oz that we know. In this story, Dorothy is bad and she has to die, obviously. But the thing about this is, the Oz is barren, it's oppressed, the people are oppressed, it's a mess. It's not magical and rainbows and giggles. And then it's like Glinda the Good and Dorothy are working together, and they're mining the magic straight out of the land of Oz. And so that's why it's so bad and barren there, and it's just like really depressing. And so Amy's looking like, okay, this isn't like the movie, this isn't like the books I've read, so what is going on with this? And basically that's the main plot line of the story, and that's pretty much it for the summary of that. And also, I really enjoyed this book because it was really well written out, but I feel like it could have been a little bit shorter, or the portion where she was when she was trying to do her job of assassinating Dorothy towards the middle/end of the book. I feel like that wait time where she wasn't hearing from the Order, I feel like that could have been a lot shorter, because we spent a lot of time just kind of doing random things, and there were events that happened. It wasn't like there wasn't anything at all that went on, like, because things did happen during that time, but it wasn't like major events or super exciting events. It was just like kind of informative stuff that happened. It was like, okay. But I just feel that could have been shorter, or at least had a little bit more action in it. But it did pick up at the end, and the beginning was super action-packed. It was great. I rated this 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I think you all should go read it because it's a pretty unique book. And the sequel, The Wicked Will Rise, is... that book is just great. It's great. So yeah, that's it for my spoiler-free review section. So all of you who haven't read the book, bye, I'll see you later. Come back after you've read the book to see the non-spoiler, to see the spoilery section. So yeah, bye. Okay, so let's get into this. Let's talk about the fact with this ending. The ending where Amy's about to just off Dorothy, just stab her in it with her non-magical knife at the moment, because they took down the magic and everything, so Amy could do her job. And then right when she's about to just get Dorothy, Toto wants to come and bite her wrist. He just wants to come and be like, nuh-uh, you're not about to eat my owner. Not eat. Why did I say eat? You're not about to, he's like, you're not about to attack my owner. He's like Dorothy's little miniature guard dog or something. It's just like, that irritated me, because she was this close. She was this close to being done. The whole book could have just been done. But no, Toto decides, we're gonna have 2 more books in this series, so I'm gonna bite Amy's wrist. And I'm just like, And then obviously Dorothy realizes what's going on, and she's like, what? You were gonna kill me? And then there was this whole running thing, and Dorothy realizes she can't use her magic, and so they're chasing each other. And then Amy, they're up on the roof, and Amy thinks she has her, and then the Tin Woodman pops up like, nuh-uh, you have no escape. So yeah, so basically Amy, she's just gonna grab Dorothy, and they're just gonna throw themselves off the side of the balcony. Well, Amy throws both of them off the side of the balcony, but it was just like, oh, that moment when that happened, it was so gripping. And the fact that when the magic came back on halfway through that fall, Dorothy was like, sayonara, sister, and she literally just disappeared, turned into bubbles, and went away. As if she's nice enough to deserve bubbles. Like, I thought she would disappear into like a cloud of ooze or something, because that's how horrible she is in this book. She's just, ugh. And so that ending literally killed me, but I'm glad Amy didn't fall to her death like Maud and Ollie. They came and saved her. They're just like, oh yeah, we got you. They just low-key just come and catch her and fly around. And then later on in the ending, when Pete turns out to be Ozma, how does that work? Like, how does that work? I still don't understand, and I've already read the sequel to this book, so I still kind of don't understand how that works. How it's like two souls in one body. Like, it's Pete and it's Ozma in the same body, and I guess they take turns sharing. I don't know how this works. How they rotate it, I don't know. But all I know is that that was a plot twist that I did not see coming. All I knew was something was up with that Pete character, and at first I thought he was gonna be evil, but I guess he's not evil, I guess, so And then the whole thing with the wizard, how the wizard is over here fighting off Glinda and things like that at the very end, after Amy got caught by the monkeys and everything. And then the wizard, he's there like he knows all that's about to go on, and I'm just like, okay, what does the wizard have to do with this? I'm like, okay, how is he gonna come into play in the rest of the series? What is his main purpose? And I'm just like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Hopefully some of this will be revealed in the prequel novellas, Dorothy Must Die stories. Hopefully, because I want to learn more about the wizard and what his ulterior motive was in this book, because we don't see much of him in The Wicked Will Rise. And honestly, I just feel overall that ending was great. It was great. It was kind of a cliffhanger a little bit, because there's a lot of information that doesn't go unchecked. And so that part is a little bit of a cliffhanger. But other than that, it is fantastic. Oh my gosh. And then let's also talk about the part where it's like before we get to the ball portion, and Jelia, she's turned into this zombified hollow skin shell type thing the Scarecrow turned her into. And I'm just like, what the heck? This is not right. This is not okay. And then I was just mad at the fact that the person they blamed for the fire and everything in the Scarecrow's laboratory, they blamed Jelia and things like that, because true enough, she was working for the Revolutionary Order of the Wicked. But it wasn't her that did it. It was Amy. So basically Amy got Jelia killed, if you really want to be technical about it. But I was just upset because Jelia didn't deserve that. But I was proud of her, because when they did call her forward and when she did got called out for that, and she took responsibility for it, even though she didn't do it. She was basically like, yes, I am this. I am with the Revolutionary Order of the Wicked. Fellow Ozians, stand up with me. And just, it was great. I liked how she was so brave. And then the Scarecrow had to go experiment on her afterwards. But in the end, she had her pride. And so I was happy for her about that. But that was just, that was sad. That was really sad. Oh, that was sad. Okay, now let's get into this. I'm pretty sure we all remember that goth munchkin Amy ran into at the very beginning of the book. I forgot her name. I really forgot her name, but it was something. I don't remember. But remember when Amy just got hungry and she decided she was going to eat an apple from one of those trees, from one of those apple trees on the side of the yellow brick road, and then the Tin Woodman in his half human, half robotic things came after them, and they were all like, oh, you're coming with us, you're under arrest. And then the little goth munchkin chick got scared and she tried to run away, like, I was bringing her to Dorothy and this, and this, basically trying to act like she wasn't a part of anything with Amy. And they turned her into, like, they had like this bubble gun, and if the bubble touches you, it makes bubbles appear on all of your skin, and you just turn into a big pile of goo, like you're just oozy goo or something. And it's just like, okay, this is weird. But it was sad because somebody had already died in like the first 100 pages, and I was just like, wow, okay, that was quick. I didn't expect somebody to die so soon in this book. But then again, it's called Dorothy Must Die, so you know, I guess there would be much more death in this. Yeah, but overall, I felt bad for her, the little goth munchkin character, because she really just kind of ran into Dorothy. She didn't really want anything to do with her, but she followed Amy anyway. And I mean, I guess that's just a decision that she made that got her to the point where she was at. But I still felt bad for her, because I was just shocked that somebody would die that soon in the book. I'm like, oh my gosh, we just met this character and now she's dead? What is going on? And so that was just, But now, let's get into the middle of this book. The middle portion where Amy is waiting to hear from the Revolutionary Order of the Wicked, and she's like literally just going about her maid duties and doing all this other stuff, like having all these encounters like with Pete and Ozma, and having to work for Dorothy, and just stuff like that in general. How that section is pretty boring at times. And even though it wasn't boring to me, because I was genuinely having fun with this book and enjoying it a lot, I feel like to most people who are looking to start reading this book, that will be the weak point that drops a few stars off of the story, because you want to keep it action-packed, upbeat, and things like that. But that slows down a lot. And even though it's not like nothing happens in there, because things do happen in that small section of the book. There's like, she meets Pete up in the hedge maze, and he's telling her not to trust anybody. And then there's the whole thing where she met Ozma for the first time in the kitchen, and Ozma was just automatically knew who Amy was. She's like, oh, you're Amy, basically. But Ozma, even though she is the true rightful heir to the kingdom of Oz, technically, it seems like there's something wrong up here. So like I guess Dorothy put some type of magic spell on her, and so that really just screwed Ozma up for me, because I feel like Ozma would have been a real dynamic character in this, but with her being messed up with the magic, it just doesn't work. And I'm excited for Yellow Brick War to read that, because I'm hoping that Ozma gets over everything that's happening to her. There's some type of spell to fix it, because this, I can't do it. I can't. I need her to get it together. I need this thing to get out of her head. I need her to be able to just be like, oh yes, I am the heir of this. I know how to work my magic, and I know Dorothy isn't the rightful heir to my throne. So no, that's all I want from her. And it's just, But anyway, that little section of the book, it's not horrible, but it's not action-packed either. And so now, what else do I want to talk about with this? I've basically talked about everything I've wanted to talk about for real, but wait. In the beginning / going into the middle section, when the Revolutionary Order of the Wicked was fighting the lion, and Gert died trying to save Amy and Knox, I was so depressed, because throughout those first 100 pages or so, we got to know Gert, and she was like this nice grandmotherly figure who was like super awesome, knew magic, and could like kick some serious butt, and she was wise too. And just seeing her die trying to save the two of them, I'm just like, oh, why? Because I really wanted her to be in the rest of the books and things like that, because I think she would have been a really dynamic character in the rest of the books, and that she would have just been able to be like, oh yeah, so you should do this, here's advice for this, like an actual grandma would do in real life. And it's just sad that she died because of the lion. And it wasn't like she killed the lion, she didn't even come close to killing him. Like, she basically scared him away, and he just kind of slinked off the sidelines so he could live. And I'm like, you are pathetic. pathetic, because that lion, he is super pathetic when he gets weak or scared or he knows there's a chance that he won't win this battle. And that just drove me nuts, because I was just like, she died and only ended up scaring him away. So she didn't even die like to kill one of these things that Dorothy brought back when she came back to take over Oz. It was upsetting. That was very upsetting to me. That was my main thing with that. That really made me sad. That made me even more sad than the one goth girl, Munchkin. Yeah, it was very upsetting. But overall, I rated this book 5 out of 5 stars because I liked the setting, I liked the characters, and I liked the main plot line. And honestly, I'm excited to see where the rest of this series goes, and you guys can look forward to seeing a review of The Wicked Will Rise and The Yellow Brick War very, very soon. And maybe even a full series review if I decide to just do the last 2 books together. So yeah, you can look forward to that on my channel. Comment down below if you've read Dorothy Must Die before, or any of the other books in the series, and just let me know if you liked them, how you felt about them. Give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. So I'll see you guys later. Bye!